Well, if it needed to be made any clearer, Eddie Howe just said in his press conference there that Martin Dubravka is a player he wants to be here until at least the end of the season. He's spoken about in there the fact that contract talks are now underway with sport director Paul Mitchell and Dubravka, and in his eyes Martin Dubravka is a player who never really wanted to leave Newcastle. Now the complication is that there is an offer from Al-Shabab on the table, and Newcastle now have to kind of manoeuvre their way through that, because I think the Saudi Pro League team believe that they had a deal struck. Newcastle kind of saying the opposite this morning, and they want Martin Dubravka to stay, and the fact that Nick Pope is probably going to be missing for at least 3 more matches underlines why. Dubravka's in terrific form at the minute, keeping 4 clean sheets in the last 7 games. Was absolutely outstanding at Arsenal, making some big claims and saves and just taking the heat off Newcastle when they needed it in those closing stages. So Eddie Howe wanting Dubravka to remain exactly here. Whether he plays at the weekend against Bromley in the FA Cup, we'll have to wait and see, because obviously there's 2 other goalkeepers Eddie Howe could possibly put in, knowing that the next Premier League game is probably the priority in terms of keeping Dubravka primed and ready for that particular challenge. The other big news probably from the press conference is Alexander Isak is fine. He's had some advice on his hamstring injury. He'll probably come back into training tomorrow. Doesn't look like he's going to play against Bromley. Remember, he came off with a hamstring injury at Arsenal, so a little injury scare there. Newcastle cannot afford to have Isak injured in this big second half of the season, and Isak will be treated a little bit calmer than normal. Probably would have expected to play some part against Bromley before that hamstring scare, but looks like he's going to have a rest this weekend and then be ready for the Premier League action to follow after that.